Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Ready for the Real Racing Online DG Vertec Cup live on MW Productions tonight. 80 laps at Pocano Raceway, and we're getting set for a big one. 80 laps, that's the most I've seen any league race here at Pocano, but I think we got the right guys to get the job done tonight. In the booth with me at this time, we've got Rachel Whiteford. She's been with us the past few weeks. She's back with us. And then we've got Nick Groth, or Groth, or however you want to pronounce it. But he's with us too. And we're going to get this thing kicking off here in just a little bit. Nick, Rachel, what's going on?
Well, it's been a pretty big week so far, but as always, looking forward to the Real Racing Online League tonight. Got a great race ahead of us at Pocano. Looking forward to this one, Michael.
And Nick, are you there? He might not be there yet. I don't know what
I
he's
believe my
doing.
buddy in the booth is having a few little technical issues tonight, but he'll be joining us shortly.
Well, like I said before, 80 laps at Pocano, and with these Gen 6 cars, loose, coming off of turn number 1, and that is the Widowmaker of this track, turn number 1. And I tell you what, I think we're going to see some action tonight. Might see a couple cautions. We'll have to find out what these Real Racing Online boys have in store for us.
Absolutely, Michael. Been watching these guys go around so far in practice, and they're pushing these things to the ragged edge. These cars are not the easiest to drive on a regular oval, and here we come to the tricky triangle of Pocano. This one's a whole different ballgame. I've heard guys this week describing it as a bit of a roval. It's an oval with some elements of a road course.
Roval, I like it. Well, we got to hit trackside real quick for the playing of the National Anthem and the promo. We will be right back, so keep your dial tuned to MW Productions here live on YouTube. Real Racing Online in effect. 80 laps, going to be the distance when we hit the green flag. We'll be right back.
Look who snuck his way up into the 5th and 6th position. Michael Woolley, who led just a couple of laps shortly on some old tires here at Charlotte. He's made his way back up to the front. Now he's working on the eye side of C.J. Levere for that 6th spot as Michael Woolley now gives the number 10 truck a little bump into turn 1, John Abbott.
Well, Rachel, we are back, and it's time to go green flag racing. The cars are lining up on the field, and we're getting ready to hit this thing, and we're going to hit it hard. Why don't you guys run us down real quick of the starting lineup for this 80-lapper here at Pocano.
In the front row, we got Bergie. And Bergie seems to be doing pretty good this week. Running the second row, right behind his brother Matt Wirtz is Brian Wirtz, and beside him is Jeffrey Creek.
Long race, guys. Take it easy first to the last. Let it get a little separated. I'm sure there's going to be a few spin outs from being loose.
You need to get out of race chat then. You're really screwing this up, man. All right, fourth place, Jeffrey Creek. And then in fourth, we got Mike Rominger. Fifth, sixth, we've got William Roberts. And in the sixth position, we got seventh position, we got James Thorndike to his outside. Jerome Howard in the number 18. Laura?
And in ninth place, we have Matt Cherry. Alongside him, Jose Pabon. 11th, Zach Colton. 12th, Kevin Parsons. 13th, Daniel T. Murphy. 14th, on the outside, Tyler Lund. 15th, Stephen Mastro. Alongside him, Danny Sanchez. Coming up the back, we have Andrew Bird and Casey Knighton.
Thank you very much, Rachel. As I was trying to get, I told you, man, you can't have your speakers on. Come on, man.
Oh, I got it fixed now. I got all the chat. So.
I love these technical issues we have sometimes with our racing. We're not perfect, we're human.
Well, I tell you what, the field's starting to go now. This is going to be an exciting one, I think. I'm really looking forward to see which drivers can actually get out there to the front. That's Matt Wirtz, of all people, our winner from last week. He's going to bring us to the stripe once again tonight. Last week was his first win ever.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a Wirtz sandwich going on for second place, Aaron Berge. That's going to be an interesting start. Those two have always been fast.
True. I mean, we've got some really fast runners up here in the front, and that could be a good thing, or that could spell disaster on this field, depending. You know, they haven't done many rolling starts. You know, they have been practicing all week, but we'll have to see who's going to spin the tires and who's going to light the fires.
Absolutely. And that turn one, it's a big problem. I mean, that's the turn you're shifting on in this track. And with this many cars going 2x2 through that tight turn, it's going to really sort of field out. I think got to be careful on that start.
One person I really like to see in this race is William Roberts. You ever watch him, pay close attention to him, he's never being aggressive. He's always waiting towards the end to make stuff happen. He's a really patient guy, starting in 6th. This should be a good race for him.
Absolutely. Big runners for me this week. It's got to be the 42 of Jeffrey Creek. He's always a player. And probably Matt Cherry. Let's see what he does today. Matt Cherry, of course, starting in 9th in that 48 machine. Lowe's Chevrolet.
Well, the field's going around turn 3 as we speak. The pace car's about ready to get a head start and get down the pit road. And Matt Wirtz going to bring us to the stripe. 80 laps at Pocano.
Rolling good, rolling good.
And we have the green flag, they're away. Brilliant start on the outside by Aaron Berger. He's pulling a length on Matt Wirtz, so he's inside. How's that going to play in the first corner? We don't know.
Yeah, this first turn is the pivotal moment in the whole race.
Oh, look at that. He's pulled him, but he's running tight. No, he's pushing into that corner. And Matt Wirtz is going to take him on the inside. Probably his brother, too.
That might be by design, though, Rachel. If you're not low, you're not loose.
Absolutely, but that's car certainly like it was pushing into that turn 1. All very close between Brian Wirtz and Aaron Berger, and that's coming out of the tunnel turn. Tricky corner.
And different from what we've seen all week in the other series, the first 10 cars still in a pretty tight-knit group still.
Absolutely, but the cold tires move all these tricky corners. They're all pretty close, but they're all being very careful, Michael.
Now, one of the front runners in most of our races, Jeffrey Creek, still sitting 3rd, but I don't think he's going to be willing to push it this early on, especially with so many laps to complete still. And right behind him, Brian Wirtz and Mike Rominger. These are same 5 guys we seen up in the front last week.
Absolutely, these guys are always running in the top 10. They're always at the front. And it just speaks to the absolute talent we have in the series.
Don't give him too big of a head there, Rachel.
Bit of a problem there for Zach Colton. He's currently marked in last place. Big drop for him. He's 12 seconds behind the field, running on his own. And he just
this is his first return race for quite some weeks now. I think he heard we were doing some green flag running and he wanted to get in on it, and unfortunately he might end up a lap down real quick.
We got a battle for the lead right here with Aaron Berge and Matt Wirtz. Looks like Berge's going to get it here coming off the corner.
And I tell you why, Zach Colton was in last place running slow. He started from the pit lane, guys.
That might be the smartest move anybody made all night, depending on cautions. Now, if it does, I told him before the race started, we've been running green flag laps, so that might be a mistake on his part.
Could well be, but still he's new back to the series. I think it was a pretty safe idea to put himself out of the way of the traffic, run his own race. If we get a caution, he'll catch up, but I think he's going to end a lap down pretty soon.
We got a wreck back there.
And caution is out. Looks like William Roberts, the 44 of Danny Sanchez. Also, let's see here. Who else is in there? William Roberts, Jerome Howard.
Mastro.
Yeah, we've got a gaggle of them back there. We're going to hit the replay button real quick.
Well, that falls right into the hands of Zach Colton. He'll make his time up on the back of the field right away.
Jerome Howard getting up into the 41, coming out of 3. And everybody just dodges everywhere to avoid it. And, yeah, the EOL will definitely go to the 18 of Jerome Howard, pushing up in turn 3, catching the right rear of the 51 and spinning them out.
It's the sort of thing that can happen at this track. With so many distinct corners, it's just so tough to get that rhythm early on. Oh, big punt there for the 45 car of Stephen Mastro. Trying to avoid some traffic. The 44, I believe it was. Danny Sanchez just caught him. Sanchez sideways, of course.
And the current leader of the race, when we go back green, will be the 8 Apocalypse Motorsports machine of Aaron Berge. Sitting pretty right now.
Absolutely, and this should give him a better shot on the restart, because, let's be honest, guys, he'll be on the inside lane for this one, which gives him a much better drive into that corner. Although if the start of the race is anything to go by, could be an interesting one, with Matt White still behind him. Of course, Jeffrey Creek now in third between him and his brother. Oh no, the guys are diving for the pits already. 4 laps, oh, a big fake there from the first 3, although I believe that's the 4 of Mike Rominger and Brian Wirtz are pitting. Big fake there from the front 3 guys.
I'm not too sure if that's going to help him though, because if you look, everybody else in the whole entire field is pitted, so this might come back to bite him here in the next few laps.
You know, you say it might, but it won't. What's the biggest thing we've got here at Pocano? Track position. You see this in the real race, you see this in our racing. With this sort of circuit, where it's almost like a road course, almost like an oval, track position is so vital, guys. Absolutely vital. You see these guys running it like a road race. They're running their stints out as far as they can. 2-stopper, 3-stopper. See how they can actually stretch it. I think the front 3 guys still a march. This could play into their hands because, as you know, stopping under green, you don't lose as much track position as you do stopping under yellow.
Down on pit road right now, looking at the number 51. The front end is all bashed in from that wreck there with Jerome Howard. Jerome Howard, we're going to go back to his car real quick. I believe it is the rear end of his car that might have had trouble, and as he takes off, he's fixed. The 48 of Matt Cherry with a smashed-in front end. He's getting work done to that 48 Chevrolet. And Steven Masher now pulling out of the pits. His back end's really bashed up as well. And then we'll head on down to Tyler Lund's number 26 Chevrolet SS. He's going to pull out of the pits now. And he's got a bashed-in front end. So a couple rear ends, couple front ends as we head back to the front of the pits. And William Roberts still sitting there in his Toyota, number 51, Neil Designs. And we'll see what happens. So check that out. There's a little sponsor plug for him. neildesigns.webs.com.
I think those guys with that rear end damage, Michael, are going to have a far easier time today than the guys with the front end. Big long track, lots of aero issues, front end damage to lose some top end speed. Rear, it's not such a big deal here.
Now I'm wondering what Zach Colton's going to do here. He's starting about mid-pack now. So I wonder if he's just going to take it easy again and work his way back there and just run some laps, or I wonder if he's going to see if what his car can do in traffic.
And we have the 84 of Casey Knighton, and I believe is that the 00 Kevin Parsons are pitting again.
Might be just topping off their cars. But with that being said, since the lights are still on the pace car, we're going to go side by side real quick for a quick commercial. We'll be right back. You're watching MW Productions, live broadcast of Real Racing Online, live on YouTube. And we're back once again. Rachel, what do you think's going on? Do you think they're just topping off fuel there? Those other guys that came back into the pits? What do you think the strategy is here?
I think it's tough on Michael. I think some of those guys perhaps wanted to put themselves at the back of the line. They don't want to be in the middle of the pack. But I think a few of them popping in, maybe topping that fuel off, maybe a couple of the guys who were in the earlier incident, you remember, coming in just for a couple of extra seconds of repairs, keep themselves in the lead lap. Of course, as we say that, number 26 of Tyler Lund is the first car one lap down after that incident. He really looks out there.
Get an onboard shot here with Aaron Berge as he's about to get this field rolling again. One of Berge's not so strong suits, unfortunately, as we've seen in the past, which you haven't, Rachel, but I have, restarts, spinning the tires, and I know it's on everybody's mind right now.
Yeah,
Well,
I
he got a
did
great
race
launch.
before when Aaron's leading and something happens, or not leading, but up front, and something happens with his tires and he spins them before. And, yeah, let's be good to see how he does it this time.
Well, as I was saying earlier, he had a really good start to this race, starting on the outside. Of course now, he's the one that's leading this one, he's the one that makes the jump. A lot of easier in the leader.
Well, the big thing about Pocano is, you know, from the time that pace car ducks on off, which it's doing right now, the green flag is almost instantaneously.
And as you say that, though, right away, of course, Brian Roberts, that 18 machine, that Ford, right behind Aaron Berge. His brother's not pulled up as much as he did there on the first start.
Little side-by-side action right out front of Mike Rominger, the 82 of Brian Wirtz, and to his outside, Jeffrey Creek in the number 1 car, as Jeffrey Creek looks to make an impression on this field and maybe get ahead of him. I don't know. He's got a little bit of a block going on there from Matt. Matt taking the extremer, more fast line going through that tunnel turn that time.
Absolutely, Michael. Sitting back here watching Jerome Howard in that 18 car, he's going backwards at the moment. One of those cars involved in that wreck. He's got no speed.
Yeah, Jeffrey Creek, he's in the middle of a work sandwich right now. It'll be good to see how they go around in here if they can do it.
A word sandwich. I love that, Nick.
I don't even know what to say about that. Casey Knighton bringing up the rear of the lead car pack right now in that 84 John Deere Chevrolet SS. And actually, Ford Fusion, he blinked out. That's why I didn't know what car it was. Having a little bit of electrical issues is now Jerome Howard in the 18. Going for the pass on the 26 of Tyler Lund. And hops the curb a little bit. It's going to give Tyler Lund a little bit more run on the outside as they head down the backstretch into turn 3.
Those cars all at the back, remember, one's involved in an accident, so running at their own pace somewhat, which is falling behind the main pack.
Tyler Lund getting a little loose off turn 3 there.
Another little battle in the pack right now. The 51 of William Roberts. And right to his outside, Zach Colton, who was going back really quick earlier on because he started from the pits, obviously, so I guess he started really far back from everybody. But they are starting to work their way through the field together, and the next car in line for them will be the 13 of Andrew Bird.
Andrew Bird's car doesn't have any damage on it that I can see, so it looks like he's going to be pretty good if he can just get his car set in the right spot. It looks like he can be fast.
It's all about consistency.
Yeah, that 99 of Zach Colton's looking pretty fast there. That caution might have kept him out of the danger zone. You know, we questioned his decision to pit lane and start, but that could have kept him out of that danger. I think that would have been the area of the track he would have been on if he'd have been starting from the grid, so this one seems to have paid off for him so far. He's up in 12th place.
Now, how much do you think that the aero really helps these cars? Because I'm noticing that a lot of the cars that have just a little bit of damage, they're getting pretty loose coming off the corners. I've seen Steven Macho get pretty loose coming off turn 3 there.
Well, it's all about the damage on the rear end. I mean, if the spoiler's bent up with just a teensy little bit, it's going to upset that car just that much more.
Absolutely, guys. But you know, you see these cars with the front end damage. As I said, a lot of drag they're putting on those cars. I mean, you got to remember this is a 2.5-mile track. This is the same sort of size as Daytona and Talladega. The aero is so important here. And as you're watching already, those cars with damage, they're already falling to the back. There's nothing they can do. They just haven't got that extra push. All the cars up front, and obviously with the downforce, a lot of these corners at Pocano, they've not got the banking to help them. So requiring that traction, requiring that downforce, they just aren't getting the grip. So they're ending up getting loose. Just as we're watching now, 0-0 Kevin Parsons alongside the 45 of Stephen Mastro. Inside through turn 1, great move there, and is he going to make it stick? I think he might. 99 though of Zach Colton could well provide him the pick he needs to keep that pass. Yep, and he's going to look down the inside of that 99. Looking really racing tonight for Kevin Parsons.
Kevin Parsons is a teammate to Aaron Brady up there, so he should be pretty close to with his setup.
Absolutely, but Kevin, I believe, was caught in that wreck.
He might have been, but his car looks alright.
I don't know. Was it caught in that wreck? I think his car's pretty clean. I think it was Zach Colton's car that you've seen in that wreck. They're both kind of a little flamboyant, for lack of a better term.
Well, if he was or he wasn't caught, he's still making moves on that traffic. He's definitely progressing forwards. And the 99, I don't think he was involved in that. He was the guy that pit laned, remember? He was way behind the accident when it happened.
Yeah, but
Possibly
I don't think Parsons was in it, is what I'm saying.
Probably not, no, you're right.
And as we see that, we also see Aaron Berge going on to almost a second lead over Matt Wirtz, followed by Jeffrey Creek and Brian Wirtz.
Well, one thing about Aaron, you know, he's never worried about conserving his tires, I don't think. And there's a lot of other guys on this track tonight, and that could bite him in the rear end later on in the race when his tires are blown and everybody else has still got rubber on their tires and they come past him.
You gotta remember, guys, Aaron Berge, Matt Wirtz, and his brother Brian, they were the only cars that stayed out during that caution. They went for the track position. Will they get to the end of this green flag stint, though, before those tires fall off?
Jerome Howard just had some electrical issues.
A little bit of history from earlier on this week. No other league, and not even the one that I broadcast, but no other league went a green flag run with pit stops. So that's always something to keep in mind. So if we see a green flag pit stop during this race, Real Racing Online hit a milestone tonight.
The standard of racing for these guys, I think it's possible. I mean, we went 200 laps at Charlotte without a caution. That's pretty incredible, guys.
Aaron Berge extending his lead from a second to almost a second and a half now.
Yep, just watching here in the back, had a bit of a run in there as Tyler Lund, first car 1 lap down, slaps the wall coming out of turn 3. I can't put these guys with damage.
Yeah, his car, it looks like his car's been through a demo derby.
It was on the pit straight.
he's not a dirt modified yet. But...
Oh, the Gen 6 modified. I forgot about that. What we're talking about, Rachel, Gen 6 modified is when the front end is beaten up so bad that they just take off the front bumper and the side skirts.
I think I've recalled seeing Jeff Gordon and Brad Keselowski sporting that rather fashionable look on their cars.
Hey, I tell you what, it looks mean.
It did when it was chasing Kurt Busch at Martinsville.
Casey Knighton still having a little bit of electrical issues. Don't know if they'll have to take that thing behind the pit wall and maybe get that thing fixed up. A little bit of a battle still here. Andrew Bird still right on the heels of the double hot car of Kevin Parsons as they head down the backstretch now. And looks like Bird might be looking for a move.
Brian Wirtz is falling back. He just got passed by Mike Rominger, and now Danny Sanchez is looking to pass him too. Followed up him by James Thorndike.
As we know, guys, Brian's never been the one to conserve his tyres. He's quick, but he gets those puppies up so fast. His brother Matt, he just makes those tyres last longer.
Well, that's the reason he lost last week, Rachel.
Exactly, you know, two brothers, very fast, but different driving styles. Matt, so smooth. You know, Brian, not so smooth, but it kills his tyres. I think it will be long before that 44 takes him.
And it was just a lap ago, right about here, where Mike Rominger was just looking to pass him, and how he is, and now the 44 is looking at him.
Again, going for that track position was going to bite him eventually.
He's probably kicking himself in the teeth, too. He's probably wondering what he's doing wrong, but he probably obviously knows what he's doing wrong, and he had even admitted it on the broadcast last week that he is just running too hard for what the tires can hold on to.
Absolutely. Look at from here, Matt Wirtz now 2.1 seconds behind Aaron Berger. He's really pulling that lead out, guys.
Well, there's another one of those drivers. Like I said before, though, not really a tire conservationist. Aaron Berger's kind of full out all the way.
How far do you think they can go on a green flag run without having to change tires or refuel?
I would say probably about 35 laps. Well, no, not even that.
The real cars, I believe, the longest they managed to go this week at Pocano. Oh, got a car off. Yeah, it's the 44 of Danny Sanchez. Just came off.
Oh, and he had a brilliant run, too.
Yep, the tunnel turn. He comes out of the tunnel turn and just gets loose. Looking down the inside of Brian Wirtz. And the back end of that car just steps away from him. Goes around and he's hard into the inside wall. Big hit there for 44 Chevrolet of Danny Sanchez. No caution, of course. The car's off the track. That's a big impact for him. Both for the race and the car.
I'm going to go back real quick on the MW Productions replay and see just what transpired. He had that middle to low line, comes up high, down the backstretch now. He was a little wobbly behind the 82 of Brian Wirtz. I think he might have been looking for a pass here. Yeah, he was kind of looking low, but Brian shut the door on him. Now he gets a little bit into the rumble strips, come out hot, he come out midline and right over that hump, and that's what bit him.
And as you say that, Brian Wirtz just passed Mike Rominger back again for the 4th spot.
Yeah, watch that. And just to go back to the fuel issue, guys, obviously, as you know, the longest run they managed this week in the real race was 35 laps. As you know, at real racing, we run at about, I think it's 73% fuel. So, I think you can expect something in the region of perhaps 25 to 28 laps for these guys. We're now approaching lap 20, so for Aaron, Matt, and Brian, that's going to be inside the next 10 laps. We'll see them in the pit lane.
And Aaron Berge just opening up a huge lead over Matt Wirtz, 3.5 second lead.
That's astonishing. That's such a huge lead. And he's just pulling away. For a guy who eats his tyres, and to be racing against a guy who really conserves them, this is big difference.
And I was listening to him talk before they got into the race, and they're just changing that setup before they got in the race too, but whatever they change, it's really helping him.
They took a big swing at that car, and it seems to have paid off.
William Roberts back into the top 10 now.
Last time by, Aaron Berge ran a 53.024 in the lead. He's 0.3 quicker than our second place man, Matt Wirtz, right now.
Guys, I think we have Danny Sanchez. He's just popped out of his car while they're in the garage. He's going to be here for a chat.
Yeah, get him up here. Definitely. We'll have a chat with him.
Danny, so can you tell us what happened there with that incident with your car? Big hit. I mean, first of all, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's just kind of just got loose on me and just couldn't correct it in time, and it's a big hit. Did a lot of damage to the car.
I mean, how long do you think you guys are going to be in the garage? Do you think you can get back out again?
Yeah, we should. We should be able to about another 5 minutes or so.
Oh, that's awesome news. Hope to see you back on that track, taking some places. Thank you, Danny.
No problem, thanks.
Well, I tell you what, looking back here right now at the 75 of Daniel T. Murphy, currently running in the 7th position. Now, you know as well as I do, last week, Rachel, he was our points leader going into the race, and now he's in 2nd spot with Brian Wirtz ahead of him.
Well, as you know, that big accident last week took him out of the race. Bad for him, but and he seems to be losing places now as Jose Pabon passes him on the inside of that 22 Chevrolet. He's going backwards, guys.
Jose is looking pretty good today. This is a really tough track, and you know, sometimes Jose does struggle, sometimes he doesn't, sometimes he just surprises you, he comes out of nowhere, and that's one of those drivers that does that, is Jose. He was struggling earlier on this year, does a couple NIS races on iRacing, and pops off 2 wins in 1 week. He's just one of those guys.
Yeah, like you said, Jose, he's one of those people, just like William Roberts. He's really patient with his tires. He saves his tires, and then when he needs to use them, he's got them to use. So look for him to be there at the end.
Oh, one guy who's speeding his way towards the end is Aaron Berge up front. 5-second lead over 2nd place Matt Wirtz. Did you guys think anybody would be 5 seconds ahead of Matt Wirtz? I certainly didn't.
That's definitely, I mean, it's not a shocker. I mean, we've seen Aaron Berge win his first race, which was the 2nd race of the season this year. That was at Phoenix, and that was his first win, and that's where he got his name, the Bergenator. I don't know, can the Bergenator do it once again tonight? We'll have to find out, but a 5-second lead, that's a lot.
Absolutely, but we're on lap 25 now, just starting. I think we're going to see him come to the pits inside the next 3 laps, guys.
It'll be interesting, too, because he is catching the 18 of Jerome Howard lap car here. He's got some damage on the back of his car, so better hope he doesn't get loose or something. Just play it carefully.
He's also had some connection issues so far, so could be an interesting moment. Will he duck to the pits first? I think he will.
Aaron gets a little loose there off turn 2 even.
Yeah, those tyres really going away now. This is about as long as you can imagine a green flag run will go for this fuel load in these cars, so...
You know what's funny about Aaron Berge? It's truly shows how remarkable iRacing's code actually is. And I know a lot of people, they complain about it, they say it's buggy, you know, and when you go late on at night, you get on and you're going against the Aussies, and the Aussie servers, you know, everybody has problem connecting to them and getting kicked out and everything. Aaron Berge on a DSL line right now, running 3 megabits per second. And look where he is. He's in the lead. No connection issues whatsoever.
Well, let's hope we don't bring in the commentator's curse like we did to some people last week. Yeah, just as we're talking now, he's coming up on the back of the 18 car of Jerome Howard.
Aaron needs a good run, though. Every week there's something that goes wrong for him, or just something that happens, but he needs a good run.
No, he's not going to go for the pits this time. He might be using the 18 for a little bit of a draft, just to give him an extra bit of a gap on Matt Wirtz.
Aaron hits 205 miles an hour going into turn 1.
That is incredible, guys.
I'm going to look at the speeds here real quick. Start with Mike Rominger running a 53.849. Brian Wirtz running a 53.740 right now. Jeffrey Creek up ahead of them. He's at a 53.7. And then at a 53.566, you got Matt Wirtz. And Aaron Berge has now brought it down from 53.0s in the draft, mind you, to go in to 53.3s. So he has lost 0.3 of a second since last time we checked. Back to you, Rachel.
Absolutely. Now, just reminding myself now, yeah, we're on lap 28, but we had 4 laps of caution period on his 2.5 mile track. I saw a field saving there for Aaron. In fact, I think he's staying behind the 18 on purpose. He's got a long lead. And he's saving himself some fuel.
Just soak that draft. He's got a big lead. There's no reason to really push this.
As you say that, here he goes.
Fast.
Well, yeah, but he saved himself some fuel sitting in that draft of the 18 car. But will this be a heroic pass just to come in? No, he's going to come back out for another lap. This will put him on lap 29. So, 29 laps, no pit stop so far for our leader, Aaron Berge.
Yeah,
Will the bird need to push this one?
It's been amazing so far. 29 of 80 laps down already. 52 laps to go, and I wouldn't think that only a half an hour into this broadcast that I would be saying that.
Absolutely, this has gone so fast. Like, these guys, we've had one accident. Which, you know, these things happen, but this is quite a long green flag run we've had now. That incident was in lap 2, so that's 27 laps green. That's nearly a full stint, guys.
And, you know, here comes the telltale sign. Will they make that milestone, being the first league this week to run a full set of fuel? They couldn't do flag to flag. We had a little bit of an issue there with Jerome Howard at the beginning, but they've got that all sorted out now. Can they make it all the way on a full fuel run? That will actually be exciting to see. And the reason I say that is a lot of cars pitted. Jeffrey Creek was the leader of that group that pitted. The top 2 cars did not pit. That's Matt Wirtz and it's Aaron Berge. So we will see here if that is going to change the course of this race. Did Aaron and Matt make a big mistake there, or did they make the right call?
I mean, Michael, if you want to look at the numbers, when they were out into the caution, those 3 cars that didn't pit, that's Aaron Berge, Matt Wirtz, and Jerome Wirtz, they were saving fuel. And yeah, it was only lap 2. They hadn't burnt much. As we say that, the 8 is coming to pit road. Yeah, lap 30. As you say that, though, they were saving fuel. The cars that came into the pits, they only topped up 2 laps of used fuel. Now, they had to run pretty hard to catch up to the back of the pack. They negated much of the advantage they got from that, so I think the 3 cars who were the lead made the right call. And as we say that, we've handed the lead across to Matt Wirtz for the first time today.
And it's funny how you see this. The cars that are together, they don't seem to separate much from the draft. You got the 2 cars fighting for first now, and you got 2 cars fighting for third. And when they're close together, they don't seem to separate very easily.
Absolutely. As we say that, Aaron Berge gets straight out of pit road.
4 fresh tires and Sunoco fuel in that 8 machine.
Yep, and he's back out on track. Now he's pitted, he's the first of our drivers to fight, and here comes the 81. Very hot entry to pit road. Gotta watch that speed limit on this track.
Jeffrey Creek staying out, getting that extra bonus point.
Absolutely. Points mean prizes, guys. I think we're going to see Creek jump this lap. Possibly Mike Rominger behind him. I mean, that pit stop is only for Aaron Berge back into 10th place.
Down on
He's
pit
really
road.
not lost much.
Down on pit road right now with the 81 Sunkist Oreo Cookie Ford Fusion from DHR. Matt Wirtz, 4 fresh tires and Sunoco fuel, and he is out of here. And his brother Brian Wirtz right behind him in the PST Oreo Cookie Ford Fusion.
Guys, let's wonder if we can get the camera on Aaron Berge in a moment, because he's out of fresh tires, and he's just blown past the car of Andrew Berg, the number 13. That car hadn't pitted yet. Such a big difference on those fresh tires.
Oh,
He's
it
just
definitely
driving
is.
As he approaches Casey, see if Casey's connection holds up here for Aaron.
I
Yeah,
hope so.
yeah, it's been kind of scary all race long. I don't know if he just didn't reset his router or what happened there, but you know, when you're coming into a big race like this, you want to make sure that you reset your router, reset your computer, because it's pivotal that you do that. And Aaron Berge running a 53.1, not as fast as lap that we've seen all day, but he definitely is going to catch back up, and he will get the lead back. But let's say he was out for 4 caution laps. He stayed out during that caution, and then he was able to go 30 total laps on the fuel run that he was given. So with that being said, he could technically, if we go green flag to flag here from the last caution, he could pit one more time and finish this race.
He could. I'm just looking at the times now between these cars that have pitted already. So that's Aaron Berge, Matt Wirtz, Brian Wirtz. Aaron's pit stop, both his time in the box and his time on pit road, drastically faster than the Wirtz brothers. He's now, from being 6 seconds ahead of them, those fresh tyres, 2 extra laps, remember, before they pitted, he's now 30, sorry, not 30, I'm wrong, he's now 9 seconds ahead of them on the track. That is a monster lead, guys.
I'm going to give you a real quick rundown of where everybody is. Jeffrey Creek still in the lead, Mike Rominger in second, James Thorndike in third, Daniel T. Murphy, then William Roberts rounds out your top 5. In 6th position, Stephen Mastro, Aaron Berge in 7th, and closing in on Stephen Mastro as we speak, 5 seconds away. Casey Knighton in 8th, Matt Wirtz in 9th, and Brian Wirtz in 10th, rounding out your whole top 10 for the DG Vertec Cup Series on Real Racing Online, presented by MW Productions.
Absolutely, and as we say that, 44 Chevrolet of Danny Sanchez is back out on track. Bubba's machine looking pretty beaten, but at least he's running, guys. So far we have no retirements from this race. We've got 5 cars a lap down, or more, that is. Andrew Bird and Zach Alton both 1 down. The 26th car of Tyler Lund, and then Jerome Howard 3 laps down, and final place Danny Sanchez 7 away. Not his day, guys.
So, okay, Creek goes in and pits in the number 42 machine. And, let's see, what is he? It's Plugged Rocks, I believe, is the sponsor in that orange and black Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. What's going on here? Because he's on lap 36. He's got to pit here soon. I mean, there's just no qualms about it. He's got to do it soon.
Absolutely, but here's one of those guys that pitted. I mean, the guys we've seen so far didn't.
Well, he could get lucky if he does pit, and there's just cautions the rest of the way. He might only have to pit one more time and be done.
And as I say that, here comes down Jeffrey Krieg.
Thing is, guys, I'm just looking at lap times. I think that's been the biggest mistake of his race. Because as he's been running, Aaron Berge has been out on track, fresh tyres, full of Sunoco race fuel. He's running a whole second faster than the cars at the moment. Those guys staying out, they might have been able to go a few extra laps. But it's not enough to make them extra stint. They couldn't stay out enough laps to take this to be one more stop, or one stop alone. They've only hurt themselves. In fact, they've lost time because they stayed out on those old tyres. So, not the right strategy call from those guys, staying out longer.
And correction on that, it's Rugged Rocks. Rugged Rocks offroad.com. That is the sponsorship on Creek's car. As Mike Rominger comes in and out as well, and William Roberts sitting sideways in his pit stall. That's the way he was sitting last time too. I don't know if that's just like his strategy or what's going on there. He's getting 4 fresh tires and Sunoco fuel in that 51 machine. As we head on back to the number 26 of Tyler Lund, still sitting in pit road. Now he's off. Looks like he got a little bit of more damage fixed on that number 26 machine, Rachel.
Yep, the number 59 of James Thorndike, he's led a lap. Remember, guys, that's an extra point. He's now running down pit road, coming in for 4 tires and Sunoco race fuel. Aaron Berge is walking his way slowly back towards the top spot. He's currently 4 seconds off the lead as we cycle through this green flag pit stop period. First for Pocano in iRacing. Once again, behind him, the Wirtz brothers. But Aaron, 9 seconds ahead of Matt Wirtz, and 11 seconds ahead of Brian Wirtz. One heck of a lead. The only car still out in front of him, James Thorndike, 10 seconds at the road, who has not pitted at this time. But I'm wrong, he has just pitted, the timing hasn't updated.
I was going to say, we just watched him come down pit road and you said it.
Absolutely, it's Aaron Berge back in the lead.
Don't worry, Rachel, it happens to me all the time. Ooh. Aaron Berge scraping the wall coming out of 4, or 3, I should say.
He should be all right.
Yep, Andrew Bird again. Second time he's passed him.
He should be all right. I don't see any paint missing on the car. Maybe it's just a little bit of scrub in there.
With
But
as
he
quick
does have
as
he does have a 10-second lead over Matt Wirtz still.
with as quick of a pit stop as Aaron Berge was able to pull off last time, I'm thinking if I'm Aaron Berge and my car can do probably around 32 laps of fuel, I say
Probably
short
about
pit
that.
this next time by. If it's green flag, short pit this thing, and you've got to win. As long as you can keep that thing straight, you've got the win.
Absolutely. I mean, those guys that stayed out with him, they could run the same strategy. The Wirtz brothers, they stayed out a couple of extra laps, and that cost them. So I think if he pits this one, and he can run this one to the end, he's got it in the bag. They'll be running faster laps than those guys on their older tyres. This one could hand him the win. But will he want to have that last sprint on fresh tyres? Hard to choose.
Jose Pablo and Daniel Murphy are still battling out for an 8th spot up. They've been battling ever since the drop of the green flag.
Absolutely. Switching places back and forth.
It seems to be that Daniel's a little better on fresher tires, and after he gets about 10 laps on his tires, then Jose starts pulling on him again. We'll see what happens this time around.
Well, we're going to take this chance real quick to hit a commercial break. We're going to go side by side, so you won't lose any of the coverage out there. Oh, and the caution out, maybe not. We're going to have to check that out real quick.
That's 13 cars on the side of the road. He's got some damage, I think, guys.
Going back on the instant replay right now, seeing if Andrew Bird was the cause there. You know, he hasn't really had a bad race so far either, so he's been pretty
sideways.
steady.
But
That caution
that was
really
worth a
hurt
caution.
Aaron Berge.
Oh god, yes it did. Not sure that was worth a caution, guys. He got sideways, but he recovered the car. I don't think that deserved a caution. I've seen worse accidents happen in iRacing where they haven't thrown the yellow. Obviously the stewards have minded their own, but that didn't deserve a caution.
Yeah,
That's really
he was about 90 degrees sideways when the John Deere car of Casey Knighton was coming by, and iRacing evidently threw that caution.
8-car Berge really wants to be coming up to position behind that pace car. He must be kicking himself now.
Well,
I mean,
I
what would
think
you do, guys?
it's a toss-up right now. If you pit right now, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to pit again. So you're really kind of stuck. But I think if you go in now, and then you come back in and just top her off, and then go right back out.
Splash and dash.
Yep,
Absolutely.
the old splash and dash.
I think it could be worth it, guys, because
Let me
yeah,
see a
we've got-
fake here. No, yeah, no fake.
He was thinking about it.
he's in.
Let's see what he does here.
I think he's going to go for that strategy, guys. I think he's going to get that extra fuel. He's going to run this lap 70 or so, maybe a little longer. If he saves some fuel on this yellow flag, maybe he's gambling on another caution. I think we'll get at least one more if he gambles on another caution, but track position, guys. Guys, we're just going to see if Aaron will join us for an interview.
Definitely.
Two right side tires for Aaron. Let's see if he takes 4. He does take 4 tires.
And we have here with us Aaron Berge in that number 8 machine. Aaron, you got a copy?
Oh, you know, caution didn't make me too happy. I extended my lead to a 10.5 second lead, and yep, that's gone.
Absolutely, that was, you know, we felt you so much when that came out. You just been strolling away from the other cars. I mean, you stayed out on that first caution. You probably had a better strategy in that regard. You've been very dominant today. I mean, you've pitted now, lap 41. What is your strategy from this point on? You're going to make this a short stint, you're going to make it a run to the finish, or you're going to run this one long and splash and dash. What's your call?
We'll see what happens. I mean, it's been a long, hard week working on this setup, ups and downs. It's so slippery out here. So, I mean, it all depends. I've got a really good long run set, but Yeah, I don't know if I pit early on like lap 50 or something, or if I just stay out here until 10 or 5 to go on my fuel. I have no idea.
I mean, the drop-off so far seems pretty dramatic on those tyres. I mean, you know, pitting under yellow is a tough one, but you've still got track position. You're in 5th. You've got everything ahead of you.
Yeah, they're all lap cars in front of me. As far as my pit strategy, I guess it all depends on what plays out on the track.
Oh, good luck with the rest of the road, town, and we'll talk to you later, hopefully, in Victory Circle.
Alright, thank you, you too.
Well, while we're still under a caution, we are going to hit that good old commercial time real quick while we're pacing around Pocano, which takes forever. And Casey Knighton going to get the wave around. We'll be right back. You're watching Real Racing Online live on MW Productions on YouTube. We'll be right back.
In a world where survival is the only rule and feelings have no place, where winning is everything and weakness is fatal, how much difference can one person make? That depends on the person. In every life, there is a line that cannot be crossed without leaving everything behind, except faith. Once that step is taken, there is no looking back, and all that lies ahead is destiny. There is no looking back, and all that lies ahead is destiny.
And we are back live at Pocano. And we're about to get things started once again. 37 laps. It'll be 36 laps at the stripe. 36 laps to go. Your leader, the 8 Apocalypse Motorsports Chevrolet SS of Aaron Berge. Remember, you're watching Real Racing Online. If you're wanting to join the crew, just head on over to www.realiracingonline.com or go to iRacing.com, click on Leagues, type in Real Racing Online, and find us. Join today. You could be a part of this next week. Rachel, what are your thoughts?
Well, so far, Aaron's back in the lead, although that caution's cost him big time today, guys. This is our second caution of the night. The first one, multi-car pile-up on lap 2. This one, the 13 car, Andrew Bergen loose. But this is going to be a big one. This could have cost him the race, it might not. Fletcher's going to be a big player in this game. Long runs, short runs, that's how it's going to be won. As we come down the pit straight, safety car's going to pull off, and we're green, green, green. They're on our way. Great launch there from Bergade. brilliant launch.
Yeah, I was looking for the
tires.
tire spin. Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. And look who's up with the front runners now. Our
Absolutely.
ex-points
42
leader.
Jeffrey Creek.
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
75.
Daniel Murphy.
Daniel T. Murphy.
Nice one for him. Although Aaron Berger is running off again. That 81's really struggling, guys.
We are not hearing you. Whatever you change it back there, buddy.
42 Jeffrey Creek starting in front of Matt Wirtz there in the 81. That 81 car really struggling on this restart. Too wide, the Wirtz brothers side by side through that turn 3.
Yeah, they're playing a little bit of, I think, roadblock games here with the rest of the field. As they cross the stripe into 35 laps to go, Aaron is going to extend his lead a little bit further now. And now those boys are going to get single file and try to hunt him down.
That little roadblock didn't work. Number 4 car, Mike Rummenjig, sliding in between the two.
It's another word sandwich.
It's a Wirtz in a bun.
Casey Knight is on pit road now, just leaving. A 4-tire stop for him.
Well, he's definitely going to be going a lap down here real quick.
That 42 car of Jeffrey Creek is really catching Aaron Berger. I wonder if they made some changes during that stop because he is on fire now.
I could have put on a little bit more tape. I mean, if he thinks that if it could handle it. I mean, there's so many things he could have changed. He could have changed the right rear spring offset, which is your wedge. Brake bias could be a big factor here at this track, especially with how slippery it gets when you're going into the turns. He could have adjusted that for a better braking bias. There's so many things to calculate. Who knows what he did?
Whatever it is working for Jeffrey Creek.
Makes me wonder if he just didn't add some tire pressure to it, because if you add some tire pressure in it, your tire temps don't go up as much, so maybe that's what he did, made his car better on the longer run, or who knows.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need it to catch up to Aaron Berge.
Well, 8 laps into the stint, he's the closest anyone's been to Aaron Berge this far into a green flag run. I think he could be breathing pretty hard down his neck pretty soon.
And Aaron Berge with at least a metric Kennedy in between him and the 42 of Jeffrey Creek. I know you probably don't know what a metric Kennedy is, Rachel. I'll have to tell you about that later.
I'll look forward to hearing it.
It seems to me like the top 6, there's 2 groups of cars. There's the top 3, then there's the next 3, but they're starting to get separated now.
Yeah, I think this Matt Wirtz and Jeffrey Creek combination is going to be a real problem for Aaron Berge. Those 2 cars get drafted together, they're going to have such a speed advantage.
Yeah, I just changed my cameras, and I can see where Aaron's getting a huge run coming off the corners. He's getting beat into the corners, but his run off the corners is just incredible.
That's always the same way saying it's just like a road course. Fastest way around a road course. You back up that corner entry. You get the best drive up that corner down the straight to the next corner. Back it up, corner exit, straight speed. Because the faster you go in that corner, the faster you can get down that straight. Everyone is a drag strip. And Aaron Berge is doing that. He's backing it up, and he's getting that best possible load.
And as he approaches Casey Knight, you know, he's going to get a little bit of a draft there, but will it be, I wonder if it's going to be enough to help him pull away from Jeff Creek and Matt Wirtz or not. Because he hasn't pulled away this run like he has the last run. So
making some move now on the track. The 82, Brian Wirtz, going to fly right by the number 4 of Mike Rominger.
Nothing you can do to defend against that.
I mean, a seamless pass by the 82 of Brian Wirtz. Good job for him. But tire burning Wirtz, as I like to call him. We'll see how long
Now
that
he's done
lasts.
that. Absolutely. One move like that, he's taking 4 laps of his tyres. I'd say in about 6 or 7 laps, that'll be Mike Rominger coming right back past him.
Now you see that top 3 really starting to separate from the rest of the field.
That gap from Aaron Berger to Jeffrey Creeks really closed down this lap. It could be under threat pretty soon. Bit of a wobble there from Aaron as he comes out of turn 3. What's the gap this time? It's lengthened by a couple of hundredths, but it's not much. Still 6/10 of a second, nearly 7. As our leader comes up on the first lap traffic. And that is the car of Casey Knighton in that John Deere number 84 Ford Fusion.
I might be overstepping my boundaries here, but I've kind of swore that Creek had started to catch up to Aaron Berge. Maybe Aaron had a little bit of a slip up there for a second.
He had a couple of wobbles, but we just don't know what strategy Aaron's playing.
I think Casey Knighton's going to do the polite thing here and just pull inside and let the leaders go by and let them battle it out. Not get in anybody's way and let them have some good old racing.
Absolutely, that's all 3 of our top 3 cars come screaming past. Well, there will be top 3 cars. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's the racing. That gap that time's increased again. 0.738 seconds. Not much, but Aaron is starting to gap slightly. At 42 of Creek might soon be under threat by the 81 of Matt Wirtz. He works his way back to the front. That could really paint Aaron's favour.
It seems to me that Aaron's car and Jeff Creek's car, they're almost identical if you look at them now. They're not really pulling away. Either one person wobbles, the other person catches up, or the other person wobbles and Aaron pulls away. The cars are just about even now.
You know what? I'm thinking perhaps the draft on this track isn't as beneficial as first thought. Get a good corner exit down that straightaway, big advantage to make that pass, but when you got 2 cars running lap after lap after lap, so close like Creek and Wirtz, it's actually harming them in the corners because they're getting in there much faster. They're going to slow down more. That's not harming them a lot, but they just can't catch Aaron. That clean air is letting him run his line and his speed. It seems to make a slight bit of difference, guys.
Yeah, I was just looking at the speeds. Aaron hits 202 miles per hour going turn 2, and Jeff Creek hits 200 flat. So that's Aaron's run off the corner for you.
Absolutely, backing up that entry is really helping him. Fortunately, those guys are drafting with each other.
And there goes Jose Pabon. He goes off track.
And just you said that, the 42 Creek slaps the wall out of turn 3.
Going back on the MW Productions instant replay for Jose Pavone, as I think it's going to be coming through the tunnel turn that he does this. Looked like a good entrance and a good exit, but for some reason that number 22 Chevrolet got really wicked loose, and that really hurt the 22 machine for Jose Pavone.
You know what, Michael? I think those track stewards are not going to be happy, because that's almost exactly the same piece of fencing that Danny Sanchez hit 17 laps ago. It was nice of Sanchez to soften it up for him, wasn't it? And Berger coming to the line on lap 56. That gap to Jeffrey Creek is 1.21 seconds. He's gapping ahead now. Those tyres and Mr. Conservationist up front, Berginator, is going to show his form again. Hopefully breathing a little easier for our leader at front. Nick, what are your thoughts so far?
Well, I think Aaron's gap is actually going to start helping him now, where they're not getting his draft as much as they were before, and I think he's going to start pulling away a little more.
Absolutely, and now we're inside that 30 to go window. In fact, we're looking at 24 laps, so looks like Aaron's going for that splash and dash finish.
But it takes a little bit of time to put fuel in. So do you think he's going to take 2 right side tires or 2 left side tires while he's at it?
I think he can afford to. I think he should take right side tires, keep that car a little bit good to grip, because on no tires it's going to be a bit slick. I think he's going to take splash of fuel, right side tires, put it up with snow-coat fuel, get to the end, and he'll be away. But we'll be getting another caution. Cars are getting loose still. As those tires wear down, they only get slipperier. That tunnel turn's already bitten 2 cars so far. But we see a third. Could it bring out that caution flag and change this race completely? Michael? And Michael isn't here. Running up from the lead at the moment. Coming to the line for lap 58. 22 to go. Gap between Arenberg and Jeffrey Creek is 1.8 seconds. 4/10 of a second on Jeffrey Creek in second place.
An unscheduled stop for Steven Mastro there, coming out ahead of Aaron Berge now, so let's see what happens there.
Yeah, not sure why that 45 car came in. Not sure if he pitted last time around.
Maybe they're in short pit like we thought Aaron was going to do, but 'cause I know William Roberts said the same thing, so maybe they're going to short pit and try to get the good strategy going.
Absolutely. But, as we said, those guys pitting late, they're going to have fresher tyres. Could just be enough to steal that victory. Because these guys on 30-year-old tyres could well hurt them.
Yeah, I'm watching William Roberts right now, and I'm watching him going through the corner. He is losing so much time in the corner. You can just tell his car is extremely tight. Aaron's going 150 in the same spot where William Roberts is going 134, so his car is just extremely tight as we see a bunch more cars going down pit road.
Absolutely. William Roberts last lap 54.241. Aaron Berger, race leader, 53.1. Although he has been down to the 52-second mark in this race as he comes up behind the number 45 car of Steven Mastro.
Now, if he's lucky, he's going to catch Steven Mastro, right? Oh, man.
The Mastro about to be mastered. He's going to look for him on the outside of turn 3. Mastro's not going to make it easy. Berger's looking down the inside. He's going to have him coming out of turn 3.
Mastro
running out wide.
left, so he's fighting for the lucky dog now, I guess.
He can't hold that one. He's going to be the lucky dog position. Should we get a caution? As Aaron Berger pulls straight past him. Makes it look so simple, Nick.
I'm back, guys. Sorry about that.
We didn't expect anything else.
Hey, watch it.
Well, the Mastro has been mastered by Berge as he puts him 1 lap down. Now, touching on 2 seconds clear of Jeffrey Creek in second. Cars already starting their short stint for this middle run, as we mentioned earlier, which is pretty much for Aaron Berge on that ladder of strategies we talked about. Looks like he's going to put it down to 10 to go, 5 to go. Pop in pit, splash and dash and go.
If they just take the splash and go, it takes about 1 to 2 seconds. But if they take the full tank of fuel, it takes about 10 to 12 seconds to take that full tank of fuel. So if they pit now and take that full tank of fuel, it's going to take them a little bit longer to put all that gas in there. Whereas if Aaron pits a little bit later, it's only going to take him a couple seconds to put all that fuel in there.
Absolutely, guys, absolutely. So far, Aaron's managed to get a good run here. That early pit stop in the caution, 10 laps out into his second run. He's completely thrown his strategy, and I think we're going to see him into pit road in, say, 9 to 10 laps. He's going to come in for that little bit of fuel. Remember, guys, he'll also be lighter with less fuel and on fresher tyres as we come to the line. That's going to put his car in prime position for passing other cars that will be on older tyres than him.
If I were him, with the lead I have right now, go in, 4 fresh tires, full fuel, run her down.
But you know, we've seen Jeffrey Pink go, what was it, 30s?
Caution out,
Oh,
guys.
caution
is
out.
And this changes everything.
Gonna be the
Oh, we have
59.
the 59.
Of James
Yep.
Thorndike.
Just gonna take a look back and see what happened there, guys. You know what? I think it's our old friend the tunnel turn. Thorndike coming down through turn 2, tunnel turn. Behind that 00 of Kevin Parsons. He's coming through again, same track line as all other cars. Tracks out to the wall. That back end just steps out. Across that infield. Oh, heavy impact there for that 59 of James Thorndike. Sliding out back onto the track on the other cars. Much less aggressive angle. That's quite an impact for the 59. Looks like he's got engine trouble as well. This could well be the end of his race.
Yeah,
Looks like
he
Stephen
definitely
Mastro,
went full frontal into that wall.
Oh, heavy impact. Steve Mastro, though, looks like he's going to get his lap back.
And yes, he does have too much damage in the race is over.
Oh, that's a shame. So, what's Aaron Berger going to do? Is he going to dive into the pits now? 6 weeks to go. Get that track position. I think he's going to go, guys. I think he's going to pit. This has just completely thrown everything.
And this catches everybody back up to him, and his lead is gone. So this will be interesting to see what he does here.
Well, so far in every restart, he's just pulled away from the traffic. I think he's got no reason to think he won't do it this time. He doesn't need to take full fuel. All he needs is 17 laps. He can do this.
And his teammate Kevin Parsons back there in 7th. He could take 2 tires and get up there towards the front. Maybe help Aaron block a little bit. You never know if he can do that, or you just gotta be a gentleman and not do that. Or
if I was Aaron, I would just take 2, fill it up with Sunoco race fuel. You can keep this. It's going to be the race off pit road for track position. You know, so green flag stops. Best in terms of keeping that position, but 2 tires, no tires, got to see. Instead coming around.
We haven't seen Aaron's car in traffic yet, so if he does take 4 tires and some people take 2 tires, it'll be interesting to see how his car handles in traffic.
Absolutely. Looking down the inside now, is he going to come to pit road? Are we going to see a massive fake again?
I don't think we're going to see a fake here. He's got to
No,
get some
he's
fuel.
committed. Aaron Berger coming down pit road. And I think pretty much everybody apart from the number 13, Andrew Bird, and other lapped cars staying out. What's all our leaders? And the top 10 rundown guys: Aaron Berger, number 1, 42 Jeffrey Krieg in 2nd, 81 Matt Wirtz in 3rd, 82 Brian Wirtz in 4th, 5th place Mike Granger in that number 4, Budweiser Chevrolet, 75 Daniel T. Murphy in 6th, 7th place 00 Kevin Parsons, 8th place William Roberts in the 51, and that car we saw stay out, number 13 of Andrew Bird in 9th. Rounding out the top 10, Stephen Mastro in the 45 machine, and Berger there winning the race off pit road. I think he's done it, guys. This could be decisive. Nick, do you see what he took in that stop?
He took 4 tires and a full tank of fuel, so he should be good to go for the rest of the race.
4 tires and a tank of fuel. We've already seen him pull away. No one seems to be able to catch him. But what did Krieg and Wirtz do?
Well, as we get that hashed out real quick, we're going to hit the commercial sponsors real quick one more time. You're watching MW Productions live broadcast of Real Racing Online on YouTube. Remember, check us out at realiRacingOnline.com. Sign up today. You could be riding with us next week. And we will be right back, so keep your dial tuned here. We'll see you in just a bit.
Hi, I'm Todd Malmstrom, driver of the 75M Ford Mustang GT. This is what I do by night. And this is what I do by day. I sell new Fords, and I've got the best selections of used inventory that you could ask for. Come see me down here at Central Ford.
Are you tired of getting hassled at the dealerships? Looking for a salesman that knows what he's talking about? Are you looking to buy a new or used car? Then look no further! Sexton Ford Moline, Illinois has the biggest selection of new or pre-owned vehicles, and Todd Malmstrom is the salesman you want. Todd is an expert when it comes to cars, and if you don't believe me, then you should see him race on a Sunday night. With his top-notch professional customer service and expertise, he will make sure you go home in the right car for the right price. No hassle, no haggling. Todd will make sure that you're happy when you leave the lot with your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, Sexton Ford may be the talk of the town, but so is Todd Malmstrom. If you're in the market, then buy one from a winner. Todd Malmstrom at Sexton Ford Moline. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're just coming in to turn 3, about to come out of turn 3. What's going to happen? It's anybody's guess right now, and we are going to be stepping inside the number 4 of Mike Rominger's car for this restart.
Just a quick note on that, guys. Top 5 cars for this restart all took 4 tires and no clear fuel. Downward, green, 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 they're away. Oh no! 75's wrecked! Massive wheel spin there from 75 Daniel T. Murphy. Oh no, that's him and the 84 of Casey Knight both out. See if I'm going to rebound that. I think that restart called him out by
right now.
Surprise, guys.
Big wheel spin, getting into the 51, the 51 backing up into tire. Casey Knighton not really involved. He just kind of locks up the tires and stops the car. But 75 of Daniel T. Murphy gonna go to the rear now.
Yeah, he's so nearly caught that number 4 of Mike Rominger. Because it looks like Rominger sped up to him, wasn't he? As he spun across the track. Well, this is throwing everything again. We are 13 laps to go now here at Pocano. We're going green in approximately 4 laps. So, 9 to go. What do? We've just refueled. Stay out, aren't you guys?
We seen Jeff Creek do it last time. He went 35 or was it 36 laps on fuel. Now, with both these cautions here, I wonder how much fuel he can save and possibly just do it on one stop if it's possible, just save enough fuel under caution.
Well, I believe Jeffrey Creek did come to pit road with Aaron and the Worst brothers last time round. They all took 4 tires and race fuel. They don't need to save fuel. Those guys need to burn it off, actually. As far as them, I'd be running in a low gear, dragging that brake pedal, getting rid of that excess gas, because they are going to be running to the line. 9 laps of green racing to go. Just gonna see what happens. Although as we say that, Jeffrey Creek has taken the lead on that very botched restart.
I think Aaron's pretty happy with the way his racing been going. I was listening to him talk under caution last time, and he was joking and laughing, so he's in a pretty good mood. I think he's got a good feeling about this race.
He has, but just looking back at that restart, the 82 of Brian Wirtz got on the back of that 8 car on the restart. He wobbled him a little bit, which is how the 42 got that run. A team strategy maybe, or an honest mistake, but the wheel spin there for Aaron, and that 82 got into the back of him. What will happen on this restart? That 42 on the inside, 8 on the outside, we know it's a good starter. What's going to happen, do you think? Michael is unavailable at this time. I believe he's going to turn his bike around.
Well, this will be a good one to see here. Now Jeff Creek has the start in his hands, so then you get the Wirtz brothers starting right beside each other, 3 and 4 in the second row. So
most importantly, though, Bergate is still in the front row. Let's hope he doesn't spin his tyres at that last restart, because that was a big loss for him. Just gonna go and grab Jeffrey Creek for a moment.
Hey Jeff, how's it going? You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
What do you think? You got anything for Aaron in this race, or do you think he's got it pretty much locked up? How do you think your car's gonna do?
He's fast, but I know my car's fast too. If I get out in the clean air, I don't have to worry about anybody. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I was watching you during that last run, that last longer run. You were when he was in traffic there. You two wouldn't really move a whole lot farther from each other. But once he got in the cleaner area, he started pulling away a little bit. So maybe that'll help you and pass Aaron there and take the win.
That clean air here all week long in practice. If you're running in front of somebody, you don't have to worry about your brake plan or anything. You're a little bit quicker than the guy behind you, but we'll see. I know he's really fast. So when we go back green, we'll have about 8 laps. Hopefully I can hold them off for 8 laps.
Do you think we'll have any trouble with one of the Wirtz brothers trying to take the win from you, or you think you got them cleared?
Well, definitely they're going to be in contention, but the biggest thing is they got to fight their way up here first. So once they get up here, they'll definitely be right on their butt. So.
All right. Well, good luck to you, and I'll hope you win.
Thanks.
Thanks for your time, Jeffrey. That is telling, Nick. I mean, are those Wirtz brothers going to be a factor? This is a shorter stint. They've all got fresh tyres. Brian, the tyre burner Wirtz, isn't going to have to worry about wear. He can run this thing flat out, and when we know he can do that, he is fast. What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. I don't know if we've seen the fastest of Aaron yet. I think Aaron's going to be putting the throttle all the way down, going hard. I wonder how it's going to pan out. I hope
he tried that last time.
I hope
that was
nobody tries too hard and gets loose and runs out of talent or anything. I don't think it's going to happen. You got a good group of guys here, but it'll be good to see what happens.
Absolutely. As we're coming through the tunnel turn, lights on that pace car are still on, so we have one more lap after this. Berger obviously assumed that last pit stop would be his last. He tried to make that aggressive break. He spun his tyres and he got loose when the 82 of Brian Wirtz got into the back of him. So maybe his aggressive starts are killing him. Maybe it's those paced starts for the long stints that were good. Let's hope he realises that and puts in a really good restart here. Otherwise, those Wirtz brothers are going to be all over him like a hobo in a wine store. Anyway, Michael, back to you.
Well, guys, I tell you what, it's been a good race either way. I think we definitely gave the fans the excitement they wanted to see tonight. And, you know, whether or not whoever wins, it doesn't really matter at this point in the game. I mean, it's going to matter to them. It's going to matter to the championship. But they've definitely all done a great job tonight. I'm looking for Bergie to pull that outside line once again. I think that he's going to burn Creek off the start. And I think that Brian's probably going to get up out of his brother's way. And I think he's going to let Matt really try to run these guys down.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw Aaron at that restart. He started so well from the outside. Matt went on the inside, and he just lined him straight into turn 1. I don't think Mr. Creek was that fast. I don't think he's got that restart potential. Although, you know, he spun his tires, he got contacted there with the number 82. That could just throw everything. I just don't know what's going to happen. We're going to have 8 laps to go when we get back to the green flag and go green racing again. What is going to happen?
We should actually have 9 laps.
9 laps, I'm wrong. But I can't call this one, guys. This is going to be too close to call.
I think the biggest factor here is going to be who has the lead coming out of turn 1. Because once you get in that clean air, just like both of the leaders up there said, once you get in that clean air, it's so much faster.
Bergie warming and scrubbing his tyres. He doesn't want to spin them on this restart. His nemesis of old, the spinning tyres.
Yeah, we'll see if that plays out again here. That's going to be the deciding factor. Can Aaron hold it together and rocket past the 42 into 1? Now remember, on the first start that we had tonight, he had that big run on the outside, but when he got into the first turn, he was up so high he couldn't do anything. And the first place person who went to second place caught right back up to him. That was Matt Wirtz.
Absolutely. Here we go. Lights in the pace car are out. We're coming down the straight for our hopefully final restart. Pace car diving for pit road. And we're green, green, green. The 82 gets straight into the back of the 80, gives him a bit of a punt. Sends him out front of the 42. Is he going to have enough room to pull that down and take his preferred line into turn 1? He's making a massive run on the outside. And gonna get hung out on the outside as he goes.
Oh no!
Bergie's round. No. And the 82 into him.
Oh no! And then the 51 cracks him while he's spinning. William Roberts just took Aaron Bergie out of this race.
Just watching that replay, guys. It's the 42 gets high. 42
going 3 wide back there too.
They're going 3 wide at the front, guys, because that 42 goes high. The 81 of Matt Wirtz touches him in the rear quarter. That puts him sideways into number 8, turns him around. He's collected by the 82. His brother, both Wirtz brothers caught him in that one. And then the 51, William Roberts, takes out Aaron Bergie, guy in contention for this win. This is not how I expected it to go, is it, guys?
Not at all. I thought Aaron almost had this one.
Destroyed race car for Aaron Bergie.
Matt Wirtz getting into the back end of Creek there and pushing him right up into Bergie. Something I never thought I would say.
Yeah, that was entirely Matt Wirtz's fault. He was too hard into the back of that 42 car. Nothing Jeffrey Creek could do there.
I mean, if I had to, you know, place blame on the cause of the wreck, right now I'd be putting Matt in the back of the pack.
Absolutely. That was definitely Matt's fault.
Well, I'm kind of looking here to see what officials are going to say here. I don't know. It's plain as day to us, but, you know, they're on track right now, so it's a little bit harder to deal with, and we'll have to see what they come up with here. Like I said, if I was in charge, Matt Wirtz would be going to the rear. Clearly wasn't Creek's fault.
Absolutely. Creek, innocent victim there, caught in the middle between those guys. He slowed down a little bit. He was drifting a little bit high. Not really his fault, but that 81 car just gone right in the back.
Now this really shakes things up. Now we don't know who's got the faster car. Before it was definitely Aaron, but now it's looks to be a good one. They've been battling.
Yeah, they've been battling. Yeah, they've been battling all night long.
We haven't said a whole lot about Mike Rominger all night, but he's still running up there in 4th position, so he could possibly pull this thing off if he's got a good enough setup under him.
Yeah, definitely. He could possibly bring that 4 machine up to the front, and that would be his first win this year for the series. Last year he had a couple wins. This would be his first for this year. Richie Evans not in the field tonight, surprisingly enough. That's his partner, and Richie Evans not here. This is our 5th caution. We're working lap 17 for total caution laps right now. 74 of 80 down. We will go back green flag racing. We got 7 laps to go right now, 6 to go when we hit the stripe, and I think we're going to have a 5-lap dash for the cash.
Absolutely. This is going to be one heck of a restart because you just got to have that track position. You don't get it now, you're not going to win.
And still the 81 of Matt Wirtz, not going back to the back of the field. So, trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Race officials, but I just don't think they could tell what happened. I think this could be a points issue after the race.
And maybe they just deemed it as a racing incident.
Well, I'm hearing in the race comms that Creek is talking about netcode. Not what we saw, but as we all know in our racing, everyone's view is different.
Yeah,
some screen show netcode, some screen show contact.
If you consider the front end of one machine in the rear end of another machine netcode, I mean, okay, I'll go for that. What are we defining as netcode here? Like millimeters?
I think netcode's a convenient excuse in our racing a lot of the time for contact. I think that was out and out. Rubbing is sometimes not racing. And the 81 car was too hot into that corner. It wasn't even a big hit, and yeah, they're talking about getting contact warnings, but you know, I've bumped drafted other cars in the past and not got a contact from it. If you touch them gently enough, and they were, you don't get a contact. And those 2 cars, it was just enough of a nudge to turn him up the track, right where Ambergo was. Really unfortunate end to that guy's race. He was, I think, in contention for that win. His car got there just outside of everybody. He was pulling away. Such a sad end.
Still no EOL yet.
Well, we'll deal with that later after the race, evidently.
You know, they said there's no contact, but looking at the back end of that 42 car, definitely rear bodywork damage. That was a hit, not netcode. Just take a look at the 81 car of Matt Wirtz, Sunkist Racing Ford Fusion. He hasn't got any damage to the front of that car, but the telltale signs on the back end of Jeffrey Creek tell a whole different story, Michael.
Absolutely, I'm looking at it right now. There's a lot of scraping and a lot of damage right in the middle of that back
He's
bumper.
had no incidents all day from that incident. Yeah, netcode doesn't tend to leave those sort of issues in netcode, as we know. Just a side-to-side thing. Those 2 cars, that was a front-to-rear contact.
But you gotta keep in mind this is racing, and there are wrecks in racing, so you just gotta know that it happens.
Absolutely, but you know, I think if we're assigning blame, the 81 car should have had an end of line, but not for us to decide. We're only here to bring you to racing, guys.
Well, we're doubling back up here. Working lap 76 of 80, and we're going to go green flag racing this next time by. Jose Pavon, he's still in this thing. Casey Knighton, Jerome Howard back there as well. Daniel T. Murphy, his car is, yeah, it's been crushed by a car crusher, it looks like, but he's still in here. So still, I mean, not a lot of racing to go, but enough to make it interesting, and it's definitely going to be exciting. The 42 and the 81 definitely neck and neck in speed-wise. We're just going to have to see who's the best driver out of the two tonight.
It's going to come down to that restart. Jeffrey Creek, 42 cars, now had the best restarts in that Rugged Rocks Chevrolet. I just think Matt Wirtz has got the long distance pace. This is not a long distance stint.
Remember, everybody.
Brian, yes, but you know.
Remember, everybody, we're brought to you by DGVertec.net. Go over to DGVertec.net for all your web hosting solutions. DGVertec.net.
And we're coming here to the line with 4 laps remaining. Lights and the pace car are out as they come through turn 3. See, hopefully, the close of our race here at Pocano. The pace car is diving for pit lane, and they are away. 82 of Matt. Brian Wirtz pushing that 42 hard. Great restarts from him all day in that 82 machine. And that just punts the 42 straight out front. He's going high for that long drop into turn 1. Oh, he's got the Wirtz inside. Oh, he's going backwards. Got more contact. Double zero of Kevin Parsons contacted with the 82. They got through it this time successfully though. Look at that lead for Matt Wirtz and Jeffrey Creek.
Lots of shuffling going on in the back of the pack there.
Yeah, there was a lot of shuffling. I was getting worried there for a second, but they straightened it out.
Angie Bird with a huge bobble going into turn 2 there.
When Parsons got shuffled back that way, I swear that was going to be another caution. Matt Wirtz, I think he's lost his opportunity. He's had a couple of looks, but Jeffrey Creek is just
Creek just hit the wall.
This could be it. This could be Matt Wirtz's day.
Now Creek having some connection trouble.
Can Creek hold him?
I don't know. That was definitely a good end to that one. And Creek's, yeah, I knew it.
He's
Creek
loose.
got wobbly. He had the wrong line coming out.
Trying to defend against that faster car of Matt Wirtz. Can he hold him off?
Maybe Matt's just saving his tires until that last lap and just going to give him a big old run for it. You never know.
The number of laps they've run under caution since this they put those tires on. There's nothing to save at this point, guys.
Well, Matt's definitely backing up his corners a lot more than Creek. Creek's pushing it hard, and he's pushing it fast, and he's doing it now. And if Matt keeps holding on the way he is, though, yeah, I was going to say he's not going to have an opportunity. Here we go. Here's the show, baby.
Better line there for 42, running a little bit higher. You got the preferred exit.
Still a little wobbly coming out of 1.
He can be as wobbly as he likes as he makes it around 6 more turns.
Matt Wirtz getting a huge draft going into turn 2. Will he get him this time?
Oh no, they contact. Oh, it's going to send Creek up to the wall.
That's the second hit by Matt Wirtz on Jeffrey Creek, and he's going to cost him the win. There goes the 4 of Mike Rominger. Oh, Creek is not going to be happy with that. Twice, Creek has been hit by Matt Wirtz.
Now Creek into the wall again. Car not handling correctly now, if that's for dang sure.
There
1 to go.
H2 of Brian Wirtz.
White flag lap. Matt in control. Creek cannot be happy about this right now.
Actually, I just looked back at that replay, and it was actually Creek that came down on Matt Wirtz there. Matt Wirtz held his line pretty good. That was actually Creek.
Now Parsons challenging for the 42 position.
He's lost it. The 42 is on that car going straight backwards. What an end to every week's race.
Turn 3, this is it. All Matt has to do is keep her straight coming out. And it looks like he's going to. Matt Wirt's going to win the 80 lapper here at Pocano Raceway.
Oh, Kevin Parsons crashing after the line. And
wow.
Straight through.
Big one. Oh, my goodness. We're going to hit the replay on that real quick.
Backwards. That looked deliberate, guys. I look like frustration putting it into the wall. Yep, that wheel got turned to the left. Kevin Parsons, a little bit of frustration there as he throws it into the pit wall as he crosses the line. Although, watching the replay again, I think he could have been trying to control a bit of a slide on exit.
Well, we're going to take this time while Rachel and Nick get our top 3 into the green room. And while we're doing that, we're going to hit our last commercial break. We'll be right back. You're watching Real Racing Online on MW Productions, live on YouTube. We'll be right back.
Trucking has always been a part of me. It started years ago when my dad and granddad were hauling vegetables to market in Liverpool. The family immigrated to Canada in the late 60s and settled near Alliston, Ontario. I bought my first truck in 1982 and Mercer Trucking was born. Today, Mercer Trucking has over 50 trucks in terminals in Toronto and Los Angeles. Our storage facilities at both terminals can handle any size of distribution needs throughout North America. We service the continental U.S., including Hawaii and Alaska. We run over 120,000 miles per month and some of the best equipment on the road today. We specialize in less than truckload shipments, show freight, we do rush team service deliveries, and haul your refrigerated or heated product. Our regular team service from Canada to California is second to none, and our staff and drivers are among the best in the business. I'm proud of our people and what they can achieve. Trucking is in my blood, it's my livelihood, and it's what I do best.
DGVertec.net's primary goal is to provide you with a successful website presence. They have purpose-built their web servers successfully throughout the years. The stress testing has been done so that they can provide you with an enhanced web hosting technology that they design for using future standards today for tomorrow. They offer 24/7 support for all web hosting plans. Their team answers support tickets 24/7, so if you have a problem at any time, an agent will be more than happy to help you. If you're not satisfied with your service within 7 days, then you can get a full money-back guarantee, with a 99 uptime guaranteed as well, with plans for shared hosting starting at just $2.95. It's clear to see why DGVertec should be your choice for web hosting. Just go to www.dgvertec.net today, your web hosting solution.
Welcome back, folks. We're about to get underway our post-race interviews. So, without further ado, we're going to bring the guys in. Gentlemen, welcome. You're live on air. First off, Matt, congratulations on the victory there. Just give us that last 20 laps from your perspective.
The last 20 laps were kind of exciting, and I was kind of fearful for a while because our strategy kind of went right out the door as soon as we had a mishap caution, is what I heard from Kevin, our VP. So we were going to pit going green on lap 65 to try to beat them all on tires, but that didn't work. So caution came out. We all pit, and then caution started going out left and right. Aaron got hit, or something happened with him. He spun, and I don't know what happened there, but I got the opportunity to start right next to Jeffrey in the second spot, and I raced real hard for the spot, and yeah.
Right, well, I tried to get hold of Mr. Creek, who was heading straight back to his hauler, not a happy camper. Nothing really you could have done there. Yeah, these things happen.
From my opinion, we were racing pretty hard, and I was getting ready to go into that tunnel turn, and it's not their primary place to pass, but I wanted to kind of fake it in there, and I braked early, and then just from my perspective, it looked like you came down, but I don't know. I'm not for sure what the replay looked or anything like that. So if it was my fault, I apologize, but if not, great racing with you, Creek.
Absolutely. Mike Rominger, number 4, Budweiser Chevrolet.
Yeah.
Nowhere to somewhere. You're on a runner-up spot today. How was that for you? What's in the board? Pretty quiet race for you though. Fuel strategy running through that. What was your choice?
I just qualified in the top 5 and stayed there. I don't know, I had probably a top 5 car, probably a 5th place car, and just stayed up there, stayed out of trouble, and it was good.
Oh, great running from you there. Definitely a top 5 car in 2nd place. Brian Wirtz, the other half of the Wirtz sandwich throughout today. How's it following your brother around again?
I have to beat him sometime. I keep getting 2nd and 30s. With a comment on Rominger, he had such a good car, especially early in the run. It was very fun racing with you all day. Got the better of me going into, I think it was turn 3. That was a tunnel turn. Got around me, and I wasn't quite able to pick him back up.
Well, that's racing. Once again, you do seem hard on your tyres. Your brother seeming to edge you in that first green flag stint. Are you working with your team to change anything for future races to try and deal with that tyre issue?
For me, it was more of a car handling issue. I couldn't handle the loose car today. I found myself having to do a lot of pit adjustments to tighten up the car. I finally got it just about right on that last restart, and it felt really good. And then we had, I think Creek hit the wall out of the tunnel turn as I was getting past, and then we got past all those guys, and that was the white flag lap.
Well, it clearly worked for you. Nick, do you want to pick this up?
Yeah, Kevin, you there, and
I'm 10-4, I'm here, buddy.
So what was the deal there coming that last lap coming out of Ford? Did your car get loose and you had to try to save it, or what happened there?
Oh, I was loose this entire race. The only thing I could do was try to save my car and make sure I had something there at the end. I saw Creek get into the wall when him and Matt were battling. Creek went to drive it in pretty deep to try and clear Matt so they wouldn't have to battle for it, and he kind of cut across Matt's nose. So the best thing I could do was try to get around it as fast as possible, and I got lucky.
Well, your car was looking pretty good there. I know you're a teammate to Aaron Berge. So what was the difference there? Was it just different driving style with the track, or what was the deal there with the setups, or what happened there?
He was hands down better than me. I think he was obviously the class of the field today. I struggled all week here. I thought I was going to finish like 15th, to be honest with you. So I would like to thank Apocalypse for giving me awesome cars the last few weeks. I really appreciate that, as well as you guys broadcasting.
Oh, you're welcome. And Rachel, you got something?
Yeah, Aaron, you there, buddy?
Yes, ma'am.
Aaron, so close. I mean, you led most of that race. Tell me about that moment. The moment it all fell apart.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said when you interviewed me earlier, you know, been struggling all week on building a solid setup here and making sure that it's a long run set. Because you know, obviously my win at Phoenix, I got stuck with a short run set and luckily pulled that out. But yeah, struggled all week with building a really good set for here, and you know, coming into this race and getting that big lead before the first caution, and then losing the lead not losing the lead, but losing the big cushion from that first caution, and then you know, going into turn one on that final restart. I watched the replay over and over again, and yeah, it was definitely a racing incident. Looked like a little bit of net code on Jeffrey's part, because not only did he net code me, but Matt behind him wasn't even close. Well, he was fairly close, but there was obviously contact according to the camera. But I mean, looking at it, he was washing up the track. He was going to get into me regardless, and it's just unfortunate, you know. Obviously the best car out there, but it happens. It's racing.
Absolutely. I mean, for a guy who's struggling with setup, you dominated that race, and it's sad to see it end that way for you. Great run nonetheless. Any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, you know, Michael Woolley Productions, obviously, for putting on our broadcast for us. DG Vertec for being our sponsor, mainly the season. And Kevin Parsons, yeah, he mentioned me. However, I get baselines from him, and I build the sets for our team out of those baselines. So I definitely got to thank him for giving me decent baselines to build off of.
Absolutely, and thank you. And just for one final wrap-up, back to Matt Wirtz. Again, our race winner, and I believe that's 2 in a row for you, Matt. Sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank BWD Designs. That's Brian Wirtz's paint shop. He paints tons of cars out there and does a good job, especially mine. Some kids for coming on board last week. As soon as I put them on, that's 2 in a row, so it's awesome. Got to thank my boys at DHR. I actually got to thank Ocker for handing out a baseline setup. We were struggling all week, and he threw out the bait, and I had to take it. Made some tweaks to it. It wasn't bad, but obviously Aaron was the star of the day, and I can't believe he got taken out. So, I mean, he was going to win if, you know, it went green. So, I got lucky.
Thank you very much. Just one final question. This is for Brian and Aaron. Second to last restart before it all went south. You seemed to spin your tyres, Aaron, and I think Brian tapped the back of you, got a bit loose, and just before that big turn 1 caution, Jeffrey Creek got out ahead of you because of that. Was it tyre spinning?
No, it wasn't tire spin. I just I hit the hammer a little late. That's how Jeffrey got ahead of me. No tire spin. I mean, there was a little bit of wobble in the back, but yeah, I was just late on the gas.
Well, again, an awesome race tonight for everybody, and thanks to the guys who have joined us in booth for the post-race show. Here at Real Racing Online at Pocano, your winner again tonight, Matt Wirtz. 2 in a row. Will he make it 3 next week at Sonoma? Over to you, Michael.
Thank you for everybody coming out tonight and watching this 80 lapper at Pocano Raceway. Brought to you live by MW Productions, live on YouTube. Real Racing Online in the house tonight. Gets it done in great fashion. Only 5 cautions for a total of 19 laps out of 80. Sponsored to you via ggvertec.net. And we will see you next week. Let's see if we have any more takers. Anybody out there want to get real with Real Racing Online? We'll see you next week. Apply now and you could be racing with Real Racing Online next week. We'll see you next week.